Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. This guy was a secondary's worst nightmare last week. He had a huge game catching the football in that win. If he's able to do even close to that same amount of damage in this one, they should be looking at another victory for sure. It's the Dolphins going up against the Rams. So, for the call of this Week 11 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, we haven't had NFL football in this city for 22 years, but football is back here in Los Angeles. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis. They come out with one back and three tight ends. And his first pass is incomplete. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on third. Back to throw, Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
They'll throw again from their own end zone. He's got time in the pocket. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
It's a gain of 14 there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play, because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled, except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Tannehill, and he's got it. Got his man on the end route, complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
It's a pickup of 21, and the Dolphins are going to get a first down. And now a first down following that long gain. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Back to the air. Tannehill on second down. They set up the screen to Ajayi. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Third and long. It's Tannehill. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 30. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So the offense lining up 1st and 10.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the 1st quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. It's complete to Parker, left side. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Well, the coaches mentioned they weren't as concerned about big play offense. They thought they could get some shorter, quicker stuff and be consistent. And that's kind of what they showed there.
What they saw in preparation, what they saw in film, is a defense that likes to get out fast in terms of coverage, meaning they either bail out or they give them a lot of space to throw the underneath stuff, so they decided they'd take advantage of it and worked on it hard in practice this week. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Throwing again is Tannehill toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Tannehill going to throw on 3rd and 1. And Corliss has it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Oftentimes we think of those tough yards as grinding yards that a running back has to pick up. How about the tight end there picking up the first down in that situation?
That's what he's there for, right?
Big fella, get it to him, let him fight off some people and pick up the necessary yardage.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It's today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And this seemingly endless drive continues. On first down, Tannehill. That is caught at the 7-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's Tannehill now on second down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Their big-bodied receiver with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second month. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Tannehill now to throw. And that is incomplete here. Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And that's complete. It's Sims. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. To the air again, Tannehill. He gets it to Sims, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So they're operating in the red zone. On first down, it's Tannehill. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Second down now after the incompletion.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great...
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. Past the 10 to the 11-yard. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Tannehill. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, a 22. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the... Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And this is going to be incomplete.
Holding, defense.
Got a little handsy there, defensive holding, Charles.
And defenders will get away with as much as you will allow. The 5-yard mark tells the officials where the line should be drawn.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And the numbers, they sort of do the talking. Great game last week. Sharp again here in this one.
Sometimes you set habits with how you play, don't you? I mean, you start to put things together, you string them together, and the confidence continues to rise. And guess what? We're seeing that happen in front of us. Back-to-back weeks of really good play.
And the confidence certainly must be continuing to grow. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. From the 50, it's Tannehill. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And he is picking up right where he left off a week ago. I wrote down, so funny here on my notes, what he said last week. And after we talked to him about the good game, he said, I will do it again. And I wrote those words down, and he's done it again.
And it's not bragging if you're doing it, right? Because that's exactly what he's told you, and he is getting it done. Smooth in the secondary, making catches, making plays. That's the guy that we know. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Play fake to Ajayi. It's Tannehill. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. From the gun on third down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete. And out come the Dolphins now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And even... So now here come the Dolphins. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive...
And now the rookie's free. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
I mean,
that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Back to throw, Tannehill. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Here's Tannehill. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. The Dolphins getting set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And as the numbers show, last week good, this week not as good. My question to you, you ready?
Yes, please hit me.
Why?
Because last week, he was able to find the seams in defenses, and the ball was delivered before a second guy could get there and make a play on it. This week, those seams aren't even there. The coverage has been really tight. The second guy's arrived early. Not a chance for him to get the ball into those tight openings.
On first down, it's Tannehill. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
2nd and 10, Tannehill once more. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And that catch puts him past the great Jerry Rice. For the most receiving yards in a single season, he's now up over 1,848.
At one point, we called Jerry Rice Flash. How about the dash we saw here today? The dash towards his record and past it. What a tremendous achievement. And how much fun is it for us to be here to witness it?
It's a pinch-me moment for us. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
On 2nd and 10, Tannehill. That is caught at the 7. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Throwing again is Tannehill. And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a... The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense. And
that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Deion Sims, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receiver.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On second down, here's Tannehill. Finding time. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they've wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
They run again with Ajayi. He hops over him.
That's why you stretch.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Four yards remaining now on second down. They come out here in the eye. Tannehill now to give to Ajayi. And he is going to lose yardage here. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
We saw in 2015 Mark Barron really emerge in the NFL.
Yeah, as a defensive back, 16 tackles for a loss. But now, how about where he's at now?
Yeah, truthfully, he's no longer a defensive back. He's really an outside linebacker. But he doesn't want to hear that. So his coach tells him.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing.